Hey guys, so I wanted to do something a little bit different today. So taking a little break from ASMR, but I wanted to go over like a little yoga routine that I do. So come join me for yoga. If you have a yoga mat, feel free to go grab that. It's also really important to make sure that you have some water. So I have mine right here. And let's get started. I do have like a little diffuser that I have going. I like to be really relaxed. I think if I'm more relaxed, I have better flexibility. I don't know if that's like actually scientifically true, but anyway, let's get started. So first position I'm going to do is I'm going to put my feet about shoulder width apart, and I'm just going to go up until my hips are parallel. Parallel to my legs. And I'm just gonna release my head, hold that, and then I'm going to contract, slowly go up again. This feels so good on my neck. I'm just trying to get my body warm. I can feel my shoulders. You want to make sure that like all of your muscles are working or getting warm. So I feel it in my thighs and my hips and my shoulders. My neck feels relaxed. I think that was 4. I'm so awful at counting. All right, and we're gonna do it one more time just in case, but I'm gonna hold it for a bit longer. And release. All right, so next we're gonna go into cat pose and then go into child's pose, maybe even some downward dog in there, whatever really just feels natural. So let's go ahead into child's pose. You want your arms to reach as far as possible. That way they are contracting. And I'm just gonna slowly shift my weight to my hands. Now I'm just warming up the arch of my back. Do that a couple times. And now when my head and neck are relaxed, I'm just going to move my hips in a circle. Also rounding my spine a bit there. And now just rocking back and forth on my wrists. I personally have really weak wrists, so I can't put too much pressure on them. If you ever need to modify, please feel free. And now what I'm going to do is go into Cobra. So I have a really flexible back. So this feels really good for me. But you want to try to get like your hips to the floor. If you look like this, that's okay. Like I said, I just have a really flexible back. And I'm gonna release my head. If you want like a little extra spiciness, you can bring your feet up. I'm not warm today yet. I can usually actually touch my head, but I'm not warm yet. So, working with what we got. Just keep stretching until you feel like your back is good. And then from here, I am going to push back into child's pose again. That way I'm stretching out my back. And from here, I'm going to put the balls of my feet down on the ground, and then I'm gonna push up and go into a downward dog. The trick with downward dog is you really want to stretch out your ankles. You want to try to get your heels on the ground and keep your legs straight. I'm also just kind of kneading my feet. Just stretching out my ankles. And then I'm just going to slowly bring my knees in onto the yoga mat, release my feet, and then go back into child's pose for a moment. And just really feel like your hips sink to the ground. Like, this should be such a relaxing position. Just really relax in that and get your body ready for the next position. Okay, so now I am just in like a long forward lunge. You want to make sure that your leg is as straight as you can go. Usually instead of like a forward lunge, I'll do like kind of like a side lunge. In dance we used to do this because it would help with turning out our hips. So that is just something that I still do, even though I don't really dance anymore. But so I am going to do this and just really feel my hips relax and sink into the ground. If you are doing it this way, you'll feel an extra bit of, like you can feel your muscles in your legs stretching there and in your hip. And I just like to gently rock a bit. You can really feel like your hips opening up when you do this. If you can go all the way down, you can. You can really feel it, like, it's on my other side right now, but when we switch legs, you'll feel it like right here in your glute. Okay, and this is a little bit more advanced, but if you can grab your foot, you can grab your foot and then bring it as close to your head as possible. So I'm feeling a big stretch right here. And then also because I'm still with my turned out hip, I can still feel it there. For this stretch though, I am going to put my hip more in a forward position. That way I can stretch my back. If you are flexible enough to grab your foot, you can. And just hold it. And gently release. Try to slowly put your leg back on the ground. Don't let it like flop. Okay. And now we need to switch legs. Just gently rocking really quick before I switch. All right, so we're gonna switch legs now. Again, to begin this stretch, I am gonna have my foot like slightly, or my hip slightly turned out a bit. That way I feel the stretch that's like right here. And this leg isn't as flexible as my other one. I definitely favor my other side. So we'll see how good this is today. All right, so again, I'm just gently rocking my hip back and forth, just trying to open up right here. I love this because it is a bit spicy, but it's still pretty relaxing. So I'm just gently rocking, getting my hips to open up. My knee just popped. So now I'm gonna move my hip to where it's not so turned out. It's more of like a forward lunge. And then we're gonna bring my foot back. And this time, no, I liked that one better. It's all about listening to your body. So I'm using my opposite arm to my opposite leg. Now again, I'm not as flexible in this leg, but I am going to just do as far as I can. And hold. And then slowly release down. And from here, you can go back into a Cobra position, which I'm going to do. You just shoot your leg back. You can relax your head. And I'm just really focusing on being in the moment right now and relaxing. All right, from here, again, we're just gonna work on opening the hips. So I'm just in butterfly pose. And you can kind of move your legs up and down. You can gently press down on your knees. I also like to kind of stretch out my shoulders while I'm doing this. So if this is like natural, you put your hands on your knees and then you just kind of twist. You want to keep your back as straight as possible though. And other side. And I'm just making sure that my body's ready for the next position because we'll be doing like an open straddle. Okay. And then try to get your head as far down to your feet as possible. But what you don't want to do is move your legs out to do it. You want to keep it to where your natural butterfly poses and then try to put your hip down. So in other words, just don't move your feet out or move your feet in to accomplish this. Okay, so now we're gonna go into a straddle. And this takes like a little bit of balance and such. So you're just gonna kind of sit on your tailbone. I'm gonna actually back up a bit. Okay. So you're gonna balance on your tailbone. You can hold wherever feels natural to you. If you're not that flexible, that's okay. And then just at a relaxed, I'm not gonna go all the way out like that I can, because you just wanna be in a relaxed position. You wanna feel it to where you're stretching, but you don't want to like push yourself too far and pull something because you are balancing as well. Now I'm just going to hold it. If you are working on flexibility, you can kind of just to try to stretch out a little bit. but I personally like just holding it. You want to make sure that your legs are straight. You don't want them like, I can't even do it. You don't want them like that. You want to make sure that your knees are straight. Doesn't matter how far your straddle is, just that your knees are straight and you're feeling it like right here. And we're just gonna hold it and release. I'm just shooting my legs in front of me. And you can kind of go back to butterfly. Give those hips a break for a second. Now I'm just working like my abductors, just for a second. All right, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. It was really fun to show you how I do my yoga. If you want more of this kind of content, make sure you comment below. Please, please, please subscribe. It helps me so much, and it's something free you can do to help support me. But yeah, I think next video will be an ASMR video, or maybe more yoga. We'll see. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. Until next time.